Good afternoon and welcome, everyone. Today we're sitting as the Committee of Adjustment. We do have all of our committee members here, but as we progress through the meeting, we will see some transitioning in and out of not only committee members, but the chair position as well. So I should like to call this meeting to order at 2 p.m. And of course, we do have quorum with all of us being here, and we are present with our secretary, treasurer, and several other staff members. Our first item of business is our land acknowledgement statement. The Township of Hamilton is situated within the traditional territory of the Mississauga, Anishinaabe, and Chippewa nations, collectively known as the Williams Treaties First Nations. Our work on these lands respectfully acknowledges their resilience and long-lasting contribution to the area now known as the Township of Hamilton. Jennifer, if I could turn to you, please, for the explanation of today's hearing, public meeting.
Certainly, through you, Chairman Gibb. The applications will be announced. They will take place in the order they appear on the agenda, which is BO 626 for Butter and then BO 726 for Gibb. I will provide an explanation and overview of each application. The meeting will then be open to the public for comments and questions. We request that the speaker provide their name and address for the record, and if you come up to the microphone, that would be appreciated. We will first hear from those in support of the application, then those in opposition to the application, followed by those seeking clarification, and then finally the applicant. All questions be addressed through the person. If you provide comments, if you could please provide your name and address for the record, that is required. If you would like to receive a copy of the notice of decision, please do so in writing or sign the registration sheet in the lobby. Please be sure to identify the application which you wish to receive a notice.
Thank you. Next item of business is the confirmation of the agenda. Prepared motion reads that the agenda for the Committee of Adjustment meeting held on June 9th, 2026 be approved. I have a mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Bruce, seconded by Mark. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Declaration of pecuniary interest today. Bruce, please. In respect to application B0626. And I also have one in relationship to B07-26. At which time those applications are being heard, we as individuals will step out of the room and then transition back in when we're called to do so. Okay, item 6 on our agenda, approval of the minutes of the previous meeting. Prepared motion reads that the minutes of the Committee of Adjustment meeting held on May 12th, 2026 be approved. Mover and a seconder, moved by John, seconded by Larry. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. No business arising from the previous minutes. Item 8, new business, minor variances, none. Item 9, new business consents. And this is B06-26 in the Butter name. And Bruce is stepping out at this point in time, and it will be noted that he has done so. The reading of the application, if you would, please.
Certainly, through you, Chairman Gibb. This is an application for a property located at 8341 Cavan Road in part of Lot 19, Concession 7. The applicant is Butter and the agent is Craig Martin. The purpose of this application is to sever a 0.2 hectare parcel of land for lot addition purposes from the property located at 8341 Cavan Road, adding the land to a developed rural residential lot with the civic address of 8355 Cavan Road. The severed land is 0.2 hectares and it has no road frontage. It is located at the southern end of the proposed benefiting parcel. The retained parcel will have a total lot area of approximately 6.45 hectares. So the property is located on the Oak Ridges Moraine on the south side of Cavan Road. There was a key map illustrating the location of the property, and a GRCA regulated area does extend along the southern property line and is adjacent to a water course that traverses the property. Surrounding land uses consist largely of actively cultivated agricultural properties, and there are several rural residential lots located on both sides of Cavan Road in this area. Plainville United Church is located on the north side of Cavan Road, approximately 300 meters from the subject, east of the subject property. Livestock facilities were identified at 8315 and 8221 Cavan Road. The property is located in an agricultural area in the municipality. It's designated Oak Ridges Moraine linkage on Schedule A to the official plan. However, on Schedule B to the official plan, key natural heritage features Oak Ridges Moraine. It shows that the property is in an agricultural area. So the policies contained in the provincial planning statement regarding agricultural properties pertain particularly to this property. Now, the provincial planning statement does not allow for new residential lot creation on the Oak Ridges Moraine or in agricultural areas. With this application, no new developable lot is being created. The severed lots will be added to an existing developed rural residential lot. The lot that it is being added to, the benefiting parcel, is a pretty small rural residential lot in terms of rural residential land uses. It's approximately 0.56 acres or 0.23 hectares. So with the 0.2 hectare lot addition, it will be 0.43 hectares, which is about an acre, which is the average size of a new lot that we create this currently, if it was for new residential lots that are privately serviced. So the policies in the provincial planning statement were reviewed, and the proposed lot addition does comply with those policies. MDS, minimum distance separation calculations, were not prepared for the two livestock facilities because no new developable lot is being created and the existing residential is already an existing conflicting land use, even if it was within the required MDS setback. So the application is consistent with the provincial planning statement. As I mentioned earlier, the subject property is located on the Oak Ridges Moraine and subject to the policies of the Oak Ridges Moraine Conservation Plan. And while severances are not generally permitted on the Oak Ridges Moraine, lot additions are permitted under those policies, providing that both the benefiting and retained parcels are appropriately sized. Benefiting and retained, yes, parcels are appropriately sized to accommodate the proposed use. So the 0.2 hectare reduction in agricultural land use parcel size is not significant, will have generally no impact on the agricultural parcel, and the 0.2 hectare lot addition will make an appropriately sized rural residential lot. The subject property is designated Oak Ridges Moraine on the county official plan. A range of agricultural uses, including a single detached dwelling, either in conjunction with an agricultural land use or an existing lot of record, are permitted with the Oak Ridges Moraine. County official plan policies support the lot addition, provided the lot adjustment does not result in the creation of a lot that is undersized for agricultural purposes. And as I discussed earlier, the 0.2 hectare reduction should have no significant impact on the retained parcel. The property is designated Oak Ridges Moraine linkage in the Township of Hamilton official plan. There's a wide range of uses that are permitted in the Oak Ridges Moraine linkage designation, including agricultural uses and existing lots of record or existing residential uses on lots of record. The township's official plan permits severances on the Oak Ridges Moraine in accordance with the policies of the Oak Ridges Moraine Conservation Plan. And as I discussed earlier, lot additions are permitted under those policies. So the proposed lot addition complies with the policies of the township's official plan. The subject property is zoned Oak Ridges Moraine linkage and Oak Ridges Moraine environmental on Schedule A to the township zoning bylaw. The Oak Ridges Moraine linkage zone permits a wide range of uses, including agricultural uses, and the lands surrounding the water course on the southern portion of the property are zoned Oak Ridges Moraine environmental The zoning will not be impacted with the proposed lot addition on the southern portion because it's nowhere near the environmental lands. Zone provisions for the Oak Ridges Moraine in Hamilton Township are undertaken in I'm going to call it an unusual manner. The zone provisions that apply to the property are generally those zone provisions that were in effect when the Oak Ridges Marine Conservation Plan came into force. And so there is a Schedule M to the township's zoning bylaw, and to determine the use of the zone provisions, so those are the setbacks, the maximum lot coverage, that sort of thing. For a property, you look at it at Schedule M to the official or the zoning bylaw. The benefiting parcel is zoned rural residential or identified as rural residential on Schedule M to the to the zoning township zoning bylaw. So the rural residential zone provisions apply, whereas the severed parcel and the retained parcel are identified as agricultural. So the agricultural setbacks apply to that parcel of land. So the severed parcel should be rezoned on or re-identified on Schedule M to the township zoning bylaw to rural residential, so that those rural residential zone provisions will apply to the severed parcel. So one of the recommendations in the report is that the property be rezoned, the severed parcel be rezoned on Schedule M to the township's zoning bylaw to rural residential, consistent with the benefiting parcel. The retained parcel does not need to be rezoned. The application was circulated to a number of agencies. Ganaraska Region Conservation Authority commented that the proposed lot additions fall outside of the GRCA regulated area, and they have no objection. There were no objections from Hamilton Township Building Department, Hamilton Township Road Department, Hamilton Township Fire Department, and Northumberland County. Public notice of the application was circulated to all registered landowners within 60 meters of the property on May 26th, and a sign was posted on the property on May 20th. 2 telephone calls were received regarding the application. A neighboring property owner requested clarification that their property was not involved in the application, and I confirmed that it was not their property, and they were fine with that. And the owner of the property immediately west of the benefiting parcel notified staff that the lot lines for their property were incorrect. On January 23rd of 2001, a 0.11 hectare or 0.29 acre lot addition to that property was granted by the Committee of Adjustment, and the cadastral or lot fabric in our GIS system was never updated. So the original circulation for the application, the parcel to the immediate west of the benefiting parcel appeared to be smaller. The impact would also be that the retained parcel or the subject property had slightly less frontage than was previously identified on the notice. That lot addition has no impact on this application. And we have updated our lot fabric information for this area. There were no other public comments received. So the proposed severed lot is located on the Oak Ridges Moraine and is being created for lot addition purposes. The application is consistent with the provincial planning statement, the county official plan, and the township's official plan, and it is recommended that it be approved subject to the conditions outlined in the report.
Thank you, Jennifer. Obviously, we know the property owner, but actually don't know the agent. So I'll ask the audience, is there anyone here in support of the application? Sir, would you mind stating your name and address for the record? And you are the agent. Thank you, sir. Is there anyone here, any other people here in respect to support of the application? Is there anyone here in opposition to the application? Is there anyone seeking clarification for the application? As agent, you would have an opportunity to speak to the application if you so wish, or answer questions if there are any. Which would you prefer, sir? Thank you. Go to committee members. Any questions from committee members? Seeing none? Would anyone like to make a motion? John, please.
I make a motion to approve.
Thank you. With the conditions set out in the report?
Yes, the application is consistent with provincial planning statement, the Oak Ridge Marine Conservation Plan, and maintains the intent of both the county of Northumberland and the township of Hamilton's official plan.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder to that motion? Yes, second by Mark. Any further questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, we'll transition now to application B0726 in the JIB name. And we'll ask Vice Chair Lovshin to take over the spot here. The agenda's here if you wish, Mark. Actually, the agenda's here and the notes are here if that helps.
Okay, welcome everyone. We're going to deal with the estate of Luella Jib. It's B072026 at 8974 Racetrack Road, part of lot 12, concession 3, and it's 39R14751, part 1. And the roll number is 14190030501000000. And I'll let you take over, Jennifer, and give us a report on this one, please.
Certainly. Through you, Vice Chairman. Application B0726 applies to a parcel of land located at 8974 Racetrack Road and part of Lot 12, Concession 3. The purpose of the application is to sever a surplus farm dwelling on a 0.63 hectare parcel of land, and the applicant owns a number of farm properties in the township and is proposing to sever the surplus farm dwelling. This is a resubmission of consent application B1122, which was conditionally approved by the Committee of Adjustment on November 8th, 2022, and which lapsed because the conditions were not fulfilled within the required 2 years. I'm going to just state right now that the recommended conditions, there are only 2 recommended conditions, and that is because all of the other conditions, normal conditions, were completed or fulfilled as a part of the previous consent application. So the severed parcel is approximately 0.63 hectares, and the retained parcel is 3.53 hectares. The property is located on the west side of Racetrack Road, east of Ferguson Road, in a predominantly agricultural area. The proposed severed lots developed with a residential dwelling and a storage shed. There's a heavily forested slope in the southwest corner of the proposed retained lot, and the remainder of that parcel is under active agricultural cultivation. Surrounding land uses are predominantly agricultural land uses, with livestock barns located immediately east of the proposed severed lot on the east side of Racetrack Road, and another located north of the subject property at 9024 Racetrack Road. There's a licensed aggregate operation located approximately 345 meters southeast of the subject property, and there is some rural residential development along Racetrack Road. So the application is designated agriculture in the township's official plan, and generally residential lot creation is prohibited in the agricultural designation, with the exception of the severance of a surplus farm dwelling for the purposes of farm consolidation. What that basically means is that if a farmer owns multiple properties and doesn't have the need for a house on each of them, they can sever a surplus farm dwelling, provided you keep the surplus, the lot, to a minimum size and try to avoid taking as much taking much land out of agricultural cultivation. And that has taken place with this application with the 0.63 hectare severed lot. MDS guidelines, MDS calculations were not prepared for this application because the dwelling exists and no new conflicting land uses are being proposed. The retained parcel had to be rezoned to prohibit any future residential development, and that was done with the previous application. So there is no need for the requirement for a zoning bylaw amendment with this application. There are no natural heritage features or natural hazard features that require protection under the provincial planning statement, and the application is consistent with the policies contained in the provincial planning statement. And as I mentioned, the retained parcel has already been rezoned to prohibit residential development. The property is not located on the Oak Ridges Moraine, so the Oak Ridges Moraine Conservation Plan does not apply. The property's designated agricultural areas in the county official plan with a natural heritage area 2 overlay, which the designation permits a wide range of agricultural land uses. Like the PPS, the county official plan permits the severance of a surplus farm dwelling subject to the standard criteria that we've already discussed. Northumberland County commented that while a portion of the property has been identified as Natural Heritage Area 2, the development appears to maintain sufficient buffers from the feature. And it's important to note that no new development is being proposed with this application, so no impact was going to occur. The property is designated agricultural in the township's official plan. Our official plan does allow for the severance of surplus farm dwelling. The proposed retained lot is zoned special permanent agriculture 30, and the proposed severed lot is zoned special rural residential 47. In the township's zoning bylaw, the property was rezoned with bylaw 2024-07 on February 20th of 2024, as required by the previous consent approval. The special permanent agriculture 30 zone prohibits all residential uses on the retained parcel as required by the provincial planning statement, and the special rural residential 47 zone recognizes a 13.85 meter minimum rear setback for the existing principal building and a 2.77 meter minimum front setback for the existing accessory structure that's located on the proposed severed parcel. The application was circulated to a number of agencies. As a result of that agency circulation, no objections were received from Ganaraska Region Conservation Authority, the Township's Building Department, Public Works Department, and Fire Department. Notice of the application was circulated to all registered landowners within 60 meters of the property on May 26, 2026, and a sign was posted on the property on May 25th. No public comments have been received. So the severance of a surplus farm dwelling is permitted by the provincial planning statement, the county official plan, and the township official plan. As required by the provincial and local policies, the retained parcel has been rezoned to prohibit any future residential development, and the severed parcel has been rezoned to recognize a couple of deficient setbacks for the existing dwelling. The recommendation is that the application be approved because it is consistent with the provincial planning statement, maintains the intent of both the county and township official plans. The only conditions on this consent are the preparation of a draft transfer, which is the draft deed, and that the tax account for the subject property be paid up to date, because all of the other conditions, normal conditions, including the preparation of a registered reference plan and the rezoning, were done as a result of the previous consent approval.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer. I don't see the agent, but I do see some support there. So can I ask the audience, is there anyone in support of the application? And Joanne, I know who you are, but and so is most of council, but can you give your name and address for the record, please? Okay, thank you. And do you wish to speak on the application or just answer questions? Okay, anyone opposed? Anyone seeking clarification? Being none, committee members, anything? No? Motion then? John, move in support?
Yes, I motion to approve with the two conditions, and also The application is consistent with the provincial policy statement and maintains the intent of both the County of Northumberland and the township's official plans.
Okay, thank you, John. Seconder, Larry, all in favor? That's carried unanimously. I guess we can ask our chair to come back.
That completes our applications for the day. We have no other business. So our next item on our agenda is adjournment. And the prepared motion reads that the Committee of Adjustment meeting held on June 9th, 2026 be adjourned at 2:26 p.m. Moving to seconder, moved by Larry, seconded by Mark. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you.